In a city built on glass and ambition, where power dresses in silk and silence costs millions, Seraphina Luxe moved like a whisper no one could ignore. She owned art that watched back, rooms that remembered footsteps, and secrets that followed her long after the lights went out. Men admired her, the world envied her, but something else claimed her, because some beauty isn't meant to be seen, it's meant to be chosen. And when the night finally looked back at her, it did not blink. They said beauty attracts attention, but no one warned her that it also attracts claimants. Seraphina Luxe had everything money could touch: penthouse views, private galleries, a closet that looked like a museum of silk and diamonds. Yet despite the glamour, her nights were quiet, the kind of silence that made a woman feel watched even when she was alone. It was at a private auction, hidden beneath chandeliers and whispers, that she first saw the painting. A portrait of a prince, not a fairy tale prince, not smiling, not charming. This one stood in shadows, dark hair falling across his brow, eyes sharp and knowing, as if he had lived too long and loved too little. His armor was old world gold, etched with symbols no curator could identify. The plaque read only, "Guardian of the Threshold, unknown artist." The moment Seraphina looked at him, her chest tightened. The auctioneer spoke, but his voice blurred. The prince's eyes felt alive. She bought it without bidding. That night, the painting was hung alone in her living room, positioned where moonlight spilled across it like a blessing or a warning. At midnight, the temperature dropped. Candles flickered though no windows were open. Seraphina woke with her heart racing, the feeling of being not alone pressing against her skin. Then she heard footsteps. Slow, measured, male. She stepped into the living room and froze. The painting was empty, and standing before it was a man made of shadow and moonlight, the prince himself, armor dulled by centuries, eyes glowing faintly silver. "Do not scream," he said quietly. "I am not here to harm you." Her voice failed her. He turned, scanning the room, jaw tense. "They are closed tonight." "Who?" she whispered. "The unseen," he answered. "Those who feed on beauty, on admiration, on desire. You have been marked, Seraphina Luxe." He knew her name. She should have run. Instead, she stayed. Night after night, he returned, always at midnight, always leaving before dawn. He never touched her, never sat, never slept. He only watched, protected. Sometimes the air would darken, shadows crawling along the walls, and the prince would step between them and her, his presence pushing the unseen forces back into nothingness. Slowly, fear softened into trust, trust into longing. She learned his name was Aurelian, bound to the painting centuries ago by an ancient order, a guardian prince trapped between worlds, allowed to walk only to protect what the unseen sought to claim. "You don't belong to them," he told her one night. "You belong to yourself." Her heart broke a little then, because she knew what she felt, and she knew what was impossible. The unseen came stronger on the seventh night. Mirrors cracked, lights shattered, the air screamed. Aurelian fought them with light etched from his armor, standing in front of her as if his body were a wall fate itself could not pass. When silence finally returned, he was kneeling, fading. "I cannot stay much longer," he said. "They will keep coming. And one night, I will not be enough." Tears slipped down her face. "Then take me with you." He looked at her like a man who had waited lifetimes to hear those words. "There is a cost." "I don't care." At dawn, the gallery staff found the penthouse empty. The painting still hung on the wall, but now, two figures stood within it. A prince and a woman dressed in modern silk, her hand resting over his heart. And sometimes, late at night, collectors swear the figures move, because love, once chosen, becomes its own kind of magic. And beauty, when protected by devotion, can never truly be claimed.